No, I just invited Vu right now.
Isn't Vu out of town? I saw him post a selfie from Circus Circus.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well,
That's the spot.
he ain't joining us. He's working right now. He's at Circus Circus. He's on a
The trapeze
unicycle or something.
They've got a lot of little clowns running around that place.
How hard did he give it to you?
Let's get this thing cracking. This is the Any Given Sunday podcast, week 14 recap. I'm Rebel Scum, still searching. The search continues for me for a title. Joined on this evening's podcast by a bunch of other champs, former champ, ambassadors of Quan. What's up, Quan?
What's up?
Oh, with the ring and the bling. The defending champ, New Jack City. What's cracking?
What's going on? I had that last little season taste of the Vus. Had to we sent him to last place, but
The Vus was holding out on you. I mean,
trying to play hard
she
to
wanted
get.
dinner and a date. She wanted dinner and a date for the last.
Dude, the Vussy, I was
No
like,
more.
Vussy was like, no, 20 more if you want back, reach your $20 more. Like, damn, you taxing me, Vussy?
Well, that was your second date.
Yeah.
That's why you don't go back. Yeah, see, it's hard to. Yeah,
I thought it got cheaper this second time around. I don't know. That's some expensive pussy.
I didn't tip the last time.
Just the tip. We're also joined on here by the Sugandis. Welcome back, young blood. We thought we ran you off the podcast, to be honest with you. That last one got spicy, no pun intended. Middle spicy.
Spicy curry.
No, it'll take a little more than that to run me off.
Yeah, he needs more coriander and turmeric.
Yeah, I need a little.
Well, welcome back. Glad to have you back. And of course, we're joined by the commissioner of the league, the full-time champ, Siebert Frogs.
Glad to be here. Scum, you gave me a job to do last week, and I did it. You needed the pimps to lose. I pulled it out for you. Need you to hold up your end of the bargain to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So he's, in other words, wait, you pulled it out for him and he didn't finish you off?
I gave you the best chance possible, Scum.
Well, you got to score more than 85 points in this league to maybe win a game or two. And I had the itis this year. I had the low score itis all season long. I'm lucky that I didn't end up with a name change. But thank you, Frogs, for doing your part. But I had no business being in the playoffs, anyways. I beat no playoff. It would have been
nice to play you next week.
Yeah, thanks. I beat one playoff team, the Curse. The rest of these knuckleheads on here fucking smack me around good and plenty. But
I think that was a part of the strategy. Not only did it probably benefit Quan's roster moving forward, but he probably wanted Scum to get that 6th seed.
Hey, it did matter to me. I mean, I was looking forward from that win, but it would have been nice. I mean, Scum putting in all this work on the pod, all of the sadness of last year's team that had so much high expectations go down, and it would be nice to see Nick finally get a bone.
Ooh, I don't like that terminology, but
other than the stormtrooper,
a big lipped bone. Wrapped in goat hair.
Damn, that's harsh, man. Thanks for reminding me. Double whiffs here. 2 missed playoff appearances in a row. It sucks.
Well, I beat the Pimps, and Quan only started 8 players against you. So much so that NJC was crying for Quan. I want you to be more competitive.
I know. His inner Drake was just coming out. I
was about to sue.
White monkey Karen.
Wow.
I was about to sue.
Karen was coming out.
Commissioner, I'd like to file a lawsuit against UMG.
Dude, those spins and plays were fake, bro. Stop it.
Yeah,
it does not live up to the spirit of the rule. Any given Sunday.
It's the rules.
Juan responded much more casually to that than he did when I actually brought up a way more legitimate concern that the roster moves and whatnot. I technically only also started 8 players because Jaden Reed basically sat down on his hands and did nothing all game long. So thank you, Mr. Reed. I appreciate burning my draft pick on you and hanging on to you all season long.
That's crazy because he started off kind of hot. I know he was boomer bust, but he had like a couple, like 4 weeks. He was like double digits.
That was all the boom he had all season long.
Lou, I got at was the thought process going in? Was it you thinking that you can beat Nick with only 8 players, or were you actually trying to get Nick into the playoffs?
Good question, Tim.
I was actually building my roster for the future, so that was my only mission with my roster, is adding the players that I'm gonna want to take into the playoffs with me. That was pretty much it.
That's what I meant from the fact that it's been done before, because like the rule was put in place not for teams with a number 1 seed who have been setting competitive lineups for 16 straight weeks. The rule was put in place for teams that are not making the playoffs and who's kind of given up on the season, and you want them to continue to be competitive, kind of like when it was brought up about Emmett's roster, right? Like you don't want an owner to not be paying attention, but strategically, particularly when you're talking about, this was kind of a buy-mageddon, right? With all the buys during this last week, when a team is facing buys or injuries, and they're faced with, do I want to drop a player that I'm going to start in a future week? Quan's not the first person to leave that person on the team or leave that person in the starting lineup.
Okay, sometimes I'm on a bitch and sometimes I'm on a moan.
But also to answer your question, Sinke, I mean, Nick's team, his team was decimated with injuries and bye weeks, so there wasn't really, it wasn't looking good for him, even with half the roster.
There was a third element in there that you missed too, which was really shitty players. Injuries, bye weeks, shit-ass players. But speaking of the teams that actually performed well this week, before we get into the special playoff seeding portion of this episode, I wanted to shout out the winners. We got everybody on here except for me was a winner this week. Yeah.
Can I make one note about that before you announce them? I thought it was very unique scheduling. It was literally the haves and the have-nots, right? It was all 6 playoff teams against all 6 non-playoff teams. And all 6, well, until Eric at the end. When I wrote this note, it looked like all 6 were going to win. So 5 out of 6 of the playoff teams won this week. The only one was I squeaked one out against Eric. But even with the loss, he's going to the playoffs.
Yes, so congratulations to him going to the playoffs. Congratulations to you getting the win. Froggy, also Quan, NJC, Sugandis. You guys did your jobs this week. The Curse put up second highest point score of all time. Is that correct? That's wild.
Congrats, Curse.
Congrats, Curse. And Jamon, T. Ruth the Truth, also a winner this week. Congratulations to him.
I think all teams
Everybody
into the playoffs are happy that Curse got it out in week 17.
Is that a thing? You think it's just got it out? I mean, I don't
week
know.
14. Let's not say that. Let's not say 17.
Oh, my bad. Week 14.
Week 14.
Freudian slip.
I think it is a thing. I mean, how often are you going to put up 200 plus? I mean, he's got a good team, but like 200 plus isn't going to happen again this season. I don't think.
Yeah, 60 burger by Josh Allen. I don't know if that's going to happen every week.
6 touchdowns, 349 yards.
Yeah.
150 to 160 for the next 3-4 weeks is
that's scary.
Definitely doable, right? That's definitely it.
That's scary.
Speaking of Josh Allen,
week 16 is going to be real scary.
I got the opportunity to be in SoFi to witness that, and he didn't do much in the first half, but second half was crazy. Like to see an actual 60 burger with my own eyes, and you know, it reminded me while it was happening. I could only think of Scum, right? A playoff seed on the line. Josh Allen, quarterback from his past, pretty much scored as many points as your entire team did this week. Scum.
I was also thinking about the exact same thing too. And it still hurts. the quarterback from my past, the one that got away. And really, for what? The curse continued. That's my Henry report. That's my Derrick Henry right there.
Was there a player you kept over him, or what happened with that cut?
Yeah, it was some dumbass running back that doesn't even play on my team anymore.
Is
I
it
can guarantee you that.
Over whom?
Was it
Who
Eckler?
did he over?
I think it might have been Aaron Jones, actually.
Over
Josh
Allen?
Yeah, Allen. That was Allen's first breakout year, and I did not make the playoffs that year, and I only had a couple of keepers. Surprise, surprise, didn't make the playoffs, and I didn't win the consolation. So,
didn't Pimps pick him up and drop him after you?
He picked him up and had him for about a year,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Who's
then
coming in? He had him last year, right?
No, he's been on
first-
the
he's
curse
been
team ever since.
Yeah, the
First
curse
round,
actually. I think
San Diego. I'm not saying it. Yeah,
I
the beach
think the
house.
curse traded up or made a trade in the first round. I'm pretty sure he did that. Basically freed up Josh, and he might have taken Josh Allen with that trade.
First pick was Josh Allen.
The first pick of the draft.
First round.
No, for his first round.
Oh yeah,
his first
yeah.
It was like three or 4 years ago, right?
So I guess you could also look at Pimps and say, Pimps, you actually had him. He had an even better season the next season. He was already pretty established. You can ask him the same question, but it's pretty stupid philosophical approach I had. I mean, Josh Allen is someone you build a dynasty fantasy team around, and the curse is proof of that. Not to mention fucking every great running back in the NFL. Oh, and Jamar Chase. And that guy too. Oh, and George Kittle, and who else you got? Like everybody's fucking.
Well, everybody, a lot of people loaded him up this season to get him there too. We talked about that a couple podcasts. Mike Evans.
With all these players, he hasn't turned it into a chip yet. He did earn a bye week. We'll get into that soon. But he hasn't turned it into a chip yet.
Let's get into it now. Let's go. Let's roll.
All right. You guys want 12-1 or 1-12? I was thinking 1-12.
Let's see what the pod board thinks first.
This was the seeding.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah,
is that what
I think
you're talking about? Skin the seeds.
I think 1-12 is good.
All right. So we'll do that, and then we'll get into the bye week data, Quan. Hey man, I love those sound effects last year. Can we get those back again this year, Scum, or is that too much to do?
Nah, it's simple. Yeah. Drum roll and some other shit, right? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was good, man. All right. Big surprise here at the top. Number 1 seed, top team, despite what Power Ranking said, pretty much throughout the season, earned the bye week. He's here. He's our loyal weekly host. Despite trying to quit earlier this season, he's been here every week. Number 1 seed. Congrats to Ambassadors of Quan.
Come on, baby.
Hey.
Once again, I think this has got to be like the, I don't know, 4th, 5th year in a row with the bye week. But
we have some data on that. That's coming later on in the show. We have some data on how many times you've had a bye week.
Yeah, Quan, I wanna congratulate you. You can come off as smug every once in a while, and that's coming from a smug asshole like me. But again, as the committee shouted out, you come on here week to week, except for the week that you had to take a nap early. But you really pour a lot of energy into this craft, and the results pay off. I'm not saying I want to see you win, but you put enough work in to justify being there where you're at right now. So congratulations. It feels great to be. What'd you end up? 11-3? Is that what it was?
I think 12-2.
12-2, even better. So congratulations. Now the real sweating can begin.
One of the greatest regular season teams in AGS history. Regular season in bold, capitalized.
All right.
Cheers.
Hey, I'll tell you what, man. The Quan did a kind gesture to please the fantasy gods this week and help them lock up the bye. He allowed my son LJ and his buddy Jordan to witness quite possibly the greatest game these 10-year-old boys have ever seen with their own eyes, man. That Buffalo Bills Rams game was incredible. absolutely no defense played. But
Go Rams.
Rams, man, good, great win for the Rams.
How does this stack up with that Chiefs Rams game from a few?
No, that
years
was the best.
ago?
Chiefs Rams was the best, but this was definitely probably top 5 game that I've been to in person for sure. Fun to watch, man. Josh Allen is a monster. Rams played well. Puka played like one of his best games since he's been on my team. So it was fun to watch, man. I mean, the whole crowd stayed till the end of the game. The kids were these kids, LJ and Jordan, man. They must have said "whose house" no less than 300 times, man. Like Jesus Christ.
But that's how you build a life of like fanship and like, you know, that's dope. Those moments they never forget.
Great win by the Rams, man. I hope they roll into the playoffs with this.
They got like a 20 was either 23 or 33% chance to make it, but hey, let's do it.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out Queef Swallower. He also was at the game. He had to be at work, and that game just took a hold of him. He was like, I got to leave at halftime to get to work. And I'm like, Queef, it's the end of the third quarter, man. He was like, I'm 5 minutes to the fourth quarter, and then I'm going to go. I mean, that's how good the game was that no one wanted to leave.
Yeah. Speaking of Queef Swallower, shout out to Queef Swallower for a really great effort, man. 136 points is not a shabby output, but 85-point loss at 136 points is ridiculous.
Hey,
that sums up his season, man. We were talking about that at the game. Me and him, I think, have been neck and neck for toughest schedule of the year. I fully expected to score 130 points and lose to the Pimps this week as well. So, yeah, man, ran into a complete monster in the curse this week.
Hey, the Queef went on a run for the end of the season, man. 3-game winning streak. He should have won the last one had he played anybody else other than the curse with a record scoring game. But he made a nice little run at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it helps to, share some room and board on draft day with a perennial playoff team and title contender who might be related to you. It might have helped a little bit. It's a different draft for him, for sure.
Did anybody notice one little bit of extra collusion going on this week with the Zach Ertz mysterious drop and pickup by the Quan?
Here we go.
I did not.
One last little cousin collusion going into the postseason.
Yep.
We'll see if Ertz even makes the squad in the playoffs. But
man, listen, Lennon. If somebody doesn't come back, I have this person I know who's a fantasy football phenom. Last name is Citron, first name is Jackson. But I promise he will have a great effort. There'll be no collusion.
Oh, please.
No kids.
Man, I'm just saying that's basically what you have, bruh.
What?
Hey, that's a good point, actually. I like that.
I wish he was here to defend himself against that BS. I mean, that's basically what Jamon has.
No.
Oh,
Well,
right?
that would be interesting because Jackson would be in the same league as his grandfather.
Yeah.
It never gets old, man. That's a good one.
All right.
Speaking
Speaking of the curse, coming in with the number 2 seed and securing the second bye, fresh off of 250 points scored this week. You won't have to worry about scoring a single point next week. Number 2 seed was secured by the curse.
1.5.
That was a good line, by the way.
Not gonna lie, I thought NJC had that second seed locked up, man. But the curse
1.5
would not let it
my
go.
first place record was lost by a total of 2.5 points.
Break that down for us, NJC.
I lost to Lewis by a point. I lost to Lewis by a point. And I lost to the Scum by a 1.5. I mean, Curse by a 1.5. 2.5 points.
So he got the tiebreaker that gave him. You guys had the same record, right?
Yeah, I would know, but I would be in first if I would have beat Lewis by a point or 1.5 or Curse by whatever, I'd be in first place. So 2.5 points has me from first to third. It's a very competitive top tier of people.
And if I had drafted Joe Burrow, I wouldn't have finished in 10th place. So
Yeah.
we have a lot of
I know. If I only had drafted
If was a
Flowers.
fifth, we'd all be drunk.
All right. Well, you set it up there, NJC. Didn't quite get the bye. And you know what? I think there's a podcast episode where he said he didn't want it. So your wish is granted, NJC. No bye week. You'll be playing next week. You have the number 3 seed.
It's okay. This is not foreign territory. You know, I don't have the, Lewis has the regular season title of bye week of the decade, but we'll see what NJC can output in the playoffs. Just happy to be here.
Congratulations.
I was listening. I was listening last week, and it sounded like you had wanted it. So what changed in that span?
Him not getting it, that's what changed.
215 points changed that. I was like, hey, all weekend I was like, come on, B. Oh, I was like, ooh, Jennings 23. Ooh. I was like 33 by Tua. Ooh, I was like, okay. And then Curse was like, all over the damn scoring.
Hey,
he put that warning on him.
With the Queefs, I was talking to Lyndon this weekend. He has gone against the grain of the projected points and starting his lineups for the last 4 weeks. And I hope that doesn't come back to haunt him, because he will put a projected player or more points on this bench in a heartbeat. I mean, Tua
he left Devontae on the bench, but it wouldn't have done no justice. But yeah,
expect more of that to come in the future, because
we might have another Awumi on our hands. that might have scarred him for the future.
I'm okay with that, man.
He's gonna go with his heart and not the statistics.
Everybody has a role to play in AGS, and if he found his place, then good for him.
He did not come in last place again. He increased. He played better. He was more active. He beat me twice. We were at the game together on Sunday, and he had his score up the whole time. Super active. Even showed me that he was in first place in his other league. So sounds like he's all in.
I mean, all it takes is 7 weeks of jokes to really get you motivated.
Just early. Give him another couple seasons, and he'll be living for this shit.
Hey, it's infectious. And the funny thing is, as everybody on here will verify, as a byproduct and a consolation prize of playing in AGS, you master every other league that you play in.
I believe the term is consolidation prize.
Oh, my bad.
I was driving, whatever. Hey, I will say though, for you consolation guys, I love the consolation bracket, and for AGS, it keeps us playing, keeps us into it, something to work for. And this is somebody who's been in the consolation bracket many, many times. So I'll be watching that one too. Good luck to you guys.
So who's in it right now? Who's in it, Coop?
Well,
wait. We'll get there. Let me just.
There.
I forgot to congratulate the Curse for another great season. I want to congratulate you too, NJC. The 3 top seeds here, I feel are really, really invested in fantasy football. I say because we know NJC, you had a resurgence last year, and by a whim won a title, and the fire's been lit. And that's a dangerous thing because you're very active. Lou, the Curse, you guys make it challenging, and it sucks as somebody who's never won to know that every season I have to go up against these 3 who are regularly there, and then other little, the other guys Lennon barely missed it by a couple of wins. Sugandiz is always in the fucking playoffs somehow. And we always make fun of his teams too. We always clown his teams, and then he ends up as the 4th or 5th seed.
Puts 30 points on the board.
Exactly. So congratulations to you. Good season for you, man.
Yeah, good job, CK.
I think this was said earlier on the podcast in a different way, but first you announce the son, then you announce the father. Coming in with the number 4 seed is T. Ruth.
The gift that keeps on giving, boy. Every year, Derrick Henry saves him from another terrible season. Man.
And it's only going to get worse because Derrick Henry's got a nice little playoff matchup.
Yep.
And he also, we clowned some of his moves too. I think we made fun of Terry McLaurin. That was a pretty solid pickup, even though he was on a bye this week.
Jaden Daniels is that difference. I do, yeah.
That is, but
he actually had a terrible draft. He waited on a quarterback and it came back to bite him, and all that.
And then cut him, and cut Bo Nix too, who ended up being a pretty damn good quarterback.
And he had Purdy. He stuck with Purdy all season, right?
And then when Purdy got hurt, he's like, "Well, I'll just get Russell Wilson and play him." And Russell Wilson has a resurgence game of the career. You know what I'm trying to say? Against me, like fucking best game since the Seahawks.
Hell of a consolidation.
So he hell of a consolidation pick, waiver pick. So he and I feel like he does this every year, but having the safety net of Derrick Henry to just lay your team down on and have him ride on those fucking shoulders, it helps, man. How many more years do you think Derrick Henry is gonna just keep running? 3?
Barring injury, at least 3.
At least, huh?
Well, I'll say, when you look at the top 6, those are two. Obviously, you got the Quan power team, regular season dynasty, NJC with 2 bobbleheads trying to go for back-to-back this year. But Curse and Truth are always scary, man. When they get into the postseason, you just never know what you're gonna get out of those guys, man. So it's always scary to potentially run into them.
Yeah, man.
No disrespect to Sugandis, who's here with us.
Shit.
Speaking of which, I know he's lining up here for the next seeding, so let's roll into it.
Yeah, and like I said, Curse, NJC, T. Ruth, all 3 teams with 2 championships looking to get a 3rd. Quan looking to get a 2nd, and with our number 5 seed also looking to get his 2nd championship. The Sugandis, congratulations, number 5 seed.
All right, man.
Congrats, sucked on D's.
Limped in, man.
I feel like he said lip dick.
Limp dick,
buddy.
I'll say I feel like the top 5 all earned it. It gets real questionable on the season.
towards the bottom.
that me and Nick had an 84 to 82.5 point game like a few weeks ago, and that it ended up being like the biggest game of the year.
Yeah, that's one of those losses that I look back on and I look at my bench and I'm like, fuck, man, that was it right there. Literally one win would have changed the balance of a lot of stuff. So you can win and get into the playoffs scoring 84.5 points. Congratulations, man. That was
absolutely,
pathetic,
man. That 6 seed gets in with a 6-8 record, so it's definitely one game changes things. Sugandis, you had mentioned going into the game, you had a question about if you had already locked it in, or what were you concerned about? Was it Rudy making roster moves, or you were
yeah. So I had I did my math wrong, and I thought that I was still having to fight for it, and I was like, oh shit, hold on. And then I saw Rudy make a couple moves, and I was like, oh wait a minute now, this might be a little
not getting ahead of ourselves.
So I was like, let me double check just to make sure this game doesn't really matter. But yeah, you got the
Brandon's been going around calling all the owners to make sure they set competitive rosters. So that's what encouraged Rudy to make those moves right before the game. Quan didn't take that phone call.
No, he was like, fuck you.
All right. Rounding out the top 6, the 2024 AGS playoff teams with a mighty record of sub 500, 6-8, squeaked in with the tiebreaker over Rebel Scum, our number 6 seed Penthouse Pimps.
Yay. What if he just gets hot at the right time? Because that's what I was hoping for. I was like, I need to get hot and lucky.
Don't say that shit. No, man. No.
Hot,
let's focus on the 6 and 8. I don't want to stop.
Oh man, he has the squad to do it.
Every team in the playoffs is a championship squad. So everyone's looking to extend that and get closer to the Frogs. Pimps has a chip. It was won in a galaxy far, far away in the early aughts, but he's going for his second championship.
That just means he's hungry. He is hungry, and he's humble.
I
He's
think
a
it's
true
dope,
humble
though.
champ.
The winner this year, no doubt, will have multiple trophies. That's dope. No new chips.
I want Pimps to win. I'm attaching my cart to that horse, and it might die next week in an epic gladiator battle. But I want Pimps to claim the top again for the OGs.
Everyone rooting against NJC. And speaking of that, so our playoffs start. Quan and Curse have a bye next week. Enjoy the time off. Let your players relax. Give them some time off, Quan. Let them get ready for the following round.
Of course,
let them get rested up.
The rest might hurt them.
No risk for injury at all next week. We got the number 3 seed New Jack City facing number 6 seed Penthouse Pimps. And we got the 4 seed T-Dot Ruth facing the number 5 seed Sugandees.
Hey, me and Sugan gonna be sweating bullets all weekend. What's up, Sugan? Little doubleheader on Monday night. We're gonna be eating curry and chicken masala.
Hey man, I know a couple spots, man. If you want to link up,
but my stomach is gonna be bubbling before I go in there, not after.
It's
on the way in and on the way out, just like our last place team that we're gonna get to in a little bit. So next up, we have what I think a few of us have alluded to, the consolation bracket. And in that, our number 1 seed, who was also 6-8 like the Penthouse Pimps, but unfortunately was on the wrong side of the coin on the tiebreaker, our host, Rebel Scum, number 1 seed, consolation bracket.
All right.
Thank you. It's good to be number 1 at something. It's not what we want it to be, but I talked to Frogs about this a little bit earlier. This has been one of the worst seasons of my fantasy football experience. Not in terms of record-wise, just emotionally. It's been really taxing to lose close games and then see yourself a win away from the playoffs. It's hurt to look at guys that you cut, that you drafted, that you hung on to for weeks and then cut for, I don't know, no reason. And then they go on to score some points against you or lose. Rico, who's I fucking made fun of by name. I was like, that guy's got the worst name ever. I'm cutting him.
Sleeper.
Deep sleep. I mean, I think he was literally my last draft pick. And anyways, yeah. And speaking of the draft, poor draft choices. Deebo Samuel, it's just a lot of stinky caca on here. And I'm not proud of what I've done this season, but I don't even know if I want to win the consolation bracket. So may somebody with better options win it, because I looked at like who I would keep, and I swear to God, I'd probably keep Bo Nix. That's who I'd probably keep with the third. I'd probably keep, and then I'd be Joe Woomy all over again. Like, I become the Penguin.
Hey, you say that in jest, but as you can see, name one team, except maybe one, that's in the playoffs that doesn't have a strong quarterback.
Well, yeah, but I would be keeping 2 quarterbacks because I have 1 under contract. So I'm just saying I have such lousy keeper selection, and I'm an emotional fantasy football player. Like, I didn't keep Aaron Jones because I felt he cost me the half point that would have got me into the Super Bowl. And then he had 2 great seasons. I have no logic behind this. I'm just raw emotion. That's probably why I've never won.
Bo Nix is good, bro. He's only gonna get better.
Yeah, maybe.
And you have 1 under contract.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like,
but Awumi's philosophy, he likes to keep 2 quarterbacks.
I would argue that T. Roof doesn't have a star quarterback. Neither does Sugandees. I don't think he has like one of those top tier quarterbacks.
I know, that's what I was referring to. That's what I said. in the face.
Oh, I see what's going on. I see what's going on here. I smell what you guys are cooking.
What I'm saying
In any
is,
case,
you should quarterback. Basically, what I was saying is a strong quarterback is the back appears to be one of the cornerstones of a strong team, and you seem to have two in pocket.
but you can only play one at a time. You know, it's not like
And
the three
prevent
running backs you
others
kept.
and prevent others from getting him as well.
Sure. Or
I got you. No,
we'll see
I
what
got you. Daniels definitely is a dynasty quarterback.
Look,
And
I've
you
said
keep
so
him
much
for free.
about him on record. I'm not going to cut him anyways. But I did think about the Raiders drafting Shedeur Sanders. I'm like, God damn, that would be fucking sick.
And rumors are that Dion's going to be the QB. I mean the coach.
I hear what you're saying.
If
I
that
don't know.
happens, I
Probably
might,
be the QB too.
I might pull the Raiders flag back out.
Yeah,
If that happens.
impossible, dude. I will.
Wait, did we
I'll
just
call
get?
McGill
Wait, did we just
Gorilla
get the
and I'll
first
snitch on you.
ever? Wait, I'm sorry, Nick. Did we get the first ever bandwagon backflip on flip to the old team on live podcast?
Yeah.
Pull them back out if Shedeur and Dion come and everything they bring for Black culture come to the Raiders. That would
Loving
be
it. Loving it.
that's
Las Vegas is going to be
man.
cracking.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Number one, number two, Quan. We can't accept that, man. I would snitch you out, man. You can't do what you did, dance on the grave of the Raiders, and then just decide like I'm back in it. You know, I don't accept that, and I accept a lot of bandwagon bullshit, but not that one, man. That can't stand, man. You know what Raider Nation is about, man.
Not pass.
That's right, dude. That's right. All right, well. Can't wait to play in the consolation bracket and meet up against Frog next week.
No, I think I said that after a few drinks, Scum. I just did some math, man, and there's you will not be facing the Frog next week, which probably might have been a better matchup for you since I think you beat me the last 7 times in a row. But we'll get to your matchup. Coming in with the number 2 seed in the consolation bracket is who's coming in second? Who's coming in second in the consolation bracket?
Yeah, I want to congratulate him for not finishing in last. Like this is a major accomplishment for him.
Actually,
is this one of his highest finishes of all time?
He did make the playoffs one year.
He did.
He claims
it's his second highest.
He claims to have won it one year.
The consolation championship?
No, the actual championship. But at a technicality, he got a tie and ended up losing.
The year that Vu won.
Yeah.
They tied in the Super Bowl?
He tied
because that one player never played or something like that, remember?
No, it was some bullshit. It was a kickoff that they like tried to like pitch around, and that fumble made him lose 2 points. And that was it.
And it was a tie. I believe it was like a tie to Jamon or something like that. And then the very next game, his team like put up like 170 or something like that, and he would have won the championship game.
He never even played in a championship game.
No,
I thought he did for a second. I was like, when did that happen? How did I miss this?
No, it was a semifinal.
Semifinal game.
I rember that one. That was like 3 years ago.
And he claims
21.
He like silently claims that as a championship.
Well, times get rough down there. I'm a new member of this crew down there that doesn't make the playoffs. It's like being lost at sea and you haven't eaten or drank fresh water. You start to like see things, and
it's called the upside down.
All cracked.
It's the fantasy football upside down, man. It's all fucked up.
I won one year.
Mama said I'm a champion.
Oh man,
not even close.
It was literally the first round. It was the first round matchup.
He ate one too many of those foreskin flavor wings, man.
His throat seized up on him.
Every season he finishes last place, then he looks at what he would have scored in week 17. He's like, I'm the fucking champ.
I would have been the champ. Only I had won 6 more games in the regular season.
If we had 28 weeks in our AGS league, I'd be victorious.
If the season started in week 11, he'd be fine.
Fuck yeah.
A surprisingly high finish with Justin Tucker's worst season.
Does he draft?
Dude, if
Hey, can you guys
if he
hear me?
drafts the Tuck again, bro.
Oh,
Yeah,
Quan,
we can
what's
hear
up?
you.
I can't hear you guys. Nick, I think you pressed something. You muted everybody. I can't hear anything.
No, can you hear me?
I didn't press anything.
I think
Wait,
that's
did
called
somebody
the,
press a button and move that background back to a goat?
Maybe you pressed something.
It's called Baldwin Hills Wi-Fi.
Oh no!
Hey, Nick, you're sabotaging me. That's a bad going in the playoffs, Queef. That's a bad omen.
There we go. There we go.
You're back.
Whatever you motherfuckers said. Fuck you.
Did you press
can you
some
guys see
secret
Lou?
button? Hey, Nick, press that button in 2 weeks when he's playing in the playoffs. All right.
Man.
Number 3 seed in the consolation bracket. I guess I should have benched my kicker so that I could have locked in the number 3 overall pick. But apparently, by beating the Penthouse Pimps, I have now moved into the 4th spot, which I think is where I was at last year. Number 3 seed. I'll be facing who's coming in second in the first round of the consolation bracket, Siebert Frog.
Congratulations, Siebert. You had 1 week where you were weeks ago, where you were down there at the bottom with the Vussy, the stinky Vussy. And I know just for like 1 week, the thought maybe crossed your mind, like, oh no. But you won a lot of games. Well, you won enough games, and you turned it around, and you're not quite in the sweet spot that you wanted, but you're gonna make something happen with it. You got Malik Neighbors. You got a bright future ahead of you, man. You must feel somewhat good about that. Good rookies.
Well, this is a year where I really would love to win the consolation bracket. I guess unlike you, I'd be excited to bring back a third keeper, which means it probably won't happen, but we will try our best. Heartbreaking news this week, man. I'm surprised the Quan didn't give it to me on the thread, but this year I invested pretty heavily into a running back of the future, Jonathan Brooks. Not only did I draft him, I think 3rd round, but I also, I moved some some assets to be able to put him on a rookie contract. And this week he tore his ACL, same leg as he tore it 13 months ago. So that hurts. Those are the kind of plays in a dynasty league that really hurt bad, man. I mean, so Jonathan Brooks, I think he's just got put on IR. He might have to be cut before I even get in the consolation bracket. But that's why an extra keeper would be valuable to move into another direction and kind of change strategy. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, that's real shitty news, man. That's like Darius Geis 2.0 without the granny rape.
Quan kind of pointed that out. Go ahead, Quan.
Funny, Nick, Lydia told me that over the weekend, and I was like, dude, it hasn't really panned out for drafting rookies who start the season on IR. And one of the players that I brought up was Darius Geis. And I think I picked up Jameson Williams, and he started the season on IR, never really panned out for me. Who had a decent season this year, but still, it's never really worked out. But at the same token, I wouldn't pass on Jonathan Brooks in that draft. But still, man, that is that's tough, man.
He had a lot of potential, and the Panthers were very conservative. I thought it could work out, and it's just one of those things, man. It made me think, and I didn't do a ton of research, but was it Willie? Who was the running back out of Miami that had the catastrophic knee injury and then actually had a decent career? What what was his name, man? It was a game against Ohio State when they had Maurice Claret. It's not Willie McGinnis.
McGahee.
McGahee.
Yeah.
I feel like he was never a Pro Bowl star player, but I feel like he recovered from that injury and had a decent pro career.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right, Quan. I can't really think of too many who did it. And the worst part for me was I was deciding between Brooks and Brock Bowers, and Brock Bowers has turned into Travis Kelce 2.0. So go Frogs!
I think Odell started the season on IR. Odell Beckham
Out of college?
Yeah.
No, wasn't he a star right away?
He
had a big injury at LSU.
Beckham didn't get hurt until after he made the catch in New York. He was after. He came out of nowhere.
I'm wrong.
Yeah, Brock Bowers.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say that Brock Bowers shit also hurts too.
Oh man,
Think about that
because I
fourth round pick in AGS.
I know I had 2 third-round picks.
Too. It was
I too. Oh, I wanted that guy too. I just didn't think he would go up that high. But count on who's coming second to keep a tight end, draft a tight end, and then pick up another one named Taysom Hill, which will have
over 28 points. Jeez.
Also
play him every week.
He's benched him.
Also trade a start tight end that helped propel the curse to the number 2 seed.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Joe. Joe's helping Joe's. Coming in with the number 4 seed, 2 spots better than he finished last year. Rebel Scum, this is who you will be playing in the first round of the consolation bracket. One of the hottest teams in recent weeks, the Queef Swallower.
I believe I will be swallowing a queef next week. And it'll be a butt queef because that man has no vagina, so it's even worse.
Interesting consolation bracket where the top seed is not going in confident against the bottom seed.
Oh, the top's not confident against the bottom?
Well, the bottom will be queefing, and it'll be a mighty queef. So, you know what? Give my guy now. I mean, he's still the queef swallower, but soon he'll be the oops babies. And I was excited to have him in the league because he's a really nice dude, great energy, and he came around, collusion or no collusion. He's put together a hot team, and I'm probably gonna wear it next week again. Thank God. End my season, please.
Thanks for the help, Lou.
Hey, he's going to be swagged out, queefing all over you next week, potentially. All right. That is the end of our postseason teams. Now to the sad part of the season. 2 teams' season has come to an end early in December. The long, sad offseason starts now. And our 11th place team, who I think went on record to say, my goal is to not finish in last place. Congratulations, Rudy. You did not finish in last place. Rudy's replacements.
Congratulations, Rudy.
Congratulations, Rudy. And has all his picks next year. For now. For now.
The draft hasn't hit yet, but wild season for our guy Rudy. We missed him on the podcast the last half of the season. Always in our hearts and in our spirits, but he accomplished his goal. So congratulations, Rudy. I wish you were here so you could just wear it a little bit more, so we could just see your face when
accomplished his goal. He's in better spirits. We'll be hanging out this week. Looking forward to seeing you, Rudy, on Thursday, and finish the season with the exact same record as our last place team, but uniquely beat the last place team twice.
Congratulations.
Nice job, Rudy. I mean,
so it was the Boosie that got him into.
Well, if you know Rudy and our sailing trips, he is a fan of the Blasian Boosie, so it's only right that he
Get a
Did
little
he
sauteed shrimp.
sample that twice? Go
Little
for
baby
seconds.
shrimps.
And speaking of baby shrimps, and I think this is going to lead into the name change conversation really quickly. I'm gonna throw a few out there, and we can kind of workshop those through the off season. But our last place team, you know what? We've been passing that pussy all season long. Everyone got a taste except for Scum. You didn't get a taste of that.
No,
Yeah,
game.
no scum.
not this scum.
No, everybody but scum can sit.
Pussy for all of us except Scum.
Wait.
Pussy.
Didn't Sigandiz lose to Pussy too?
Yeah, but that was way down the line.
Oh,
It
that
didn't
was
really
long.
matter. It didn't matter. I
What
beat him
the
one.
fuck?
Two people on the
He got
pod.
one taste,
one foot
but
in the
he-
pussy, one
He
foot
didn't
out.
go back to. Didn't go back.
He was the pod killer, apparently. But, Boosie, thanks for being so generous with your ass pussy this year, just sharing it with the entire league. You only won 3 games. You did not talk much on the thread, and I see why. Because you are the worst team in 2024 in any given Sunday. Congratulations on coming in last place. You get the first pick. You'll probably draft somebody like Michael Pittman, and you're going to have a terrible name and a logo next year. Congratulations, last place.
Ole
great job.
Wussy.
I mean, I stand by this. I did miss the banter and the fire that he brought. There's certain people in other people's lives that are villainous, cantankerous. They didn't know how to just twist the knife, and I feel like Vu and the commish, like you guys really knew. And then you bring all the other everybody in, and then somehow I'd get roped in because I'm a cracker, and it'd just be fucking crazy, man. I miss that, man.
Hey man, nobody's safe. From the cracker to the curry, nobody's safe.
Well, I'll get it, man. But so what do we got? What do we got in the chamber for Vussy?
So in the
congenital
chamber,
Vussy?
that it's been growing. I'm gonna try and go through these really quickly.
Hasn't been growing that much though, Coop.
Hasn't been growing that much. There's one that I just thought about. I forgot to add it, so I'm gonna have to try to refresh my memory. All right, real quick. We've got slanted Vussy. We needed the Vussy, and he is slanted. So slanted Vussy's number 1. We got Kappa House Crash Out. That's an inside joke. We've got Bukaki Boyth. We have this is a play on his accidental championship. We have the accidental carrot. We have Mongoloid Munchkin. We have the Cucked Kamikaze. We have I think this was Nick's favorite, the Gook-eyed Jizz Gobbler.
I wouldn't say favorite. Okay, I would just say most surprising. That was a
Wait,
shock.
you said Chupacabra Chewer? Is that what you said?
Oh, boy.
I purposely went no Chupacabra on this list, but we've got the Anal Samurai. We've got the Hiroshima Hobbits. Thman's Balding Bottom. The Chubby Chink.
Chubby Chink.
Szechuan Shrimps.
Wait, I want to stop there because
Szechuan.
Chubby Chink is offensive because he's Japanese, and the Japanese and Chinese people historically have hated each other. So,
Trust me, man. We're all over Asia. We're all in different parts, different regions.
that is
North,
excellent.
Southeast and west. There's no limitations when it comes to the name change.
Oh man, I like the Gook-eyed Goober, whatever that one
Gook-eyed
was.
Jizz Gobbler. This I think this was Lewis's favorite, the Tokyo Titty Boy. Tokyo Titty Boy. These is dying over here.
Oh my God.
We've got the Pot Belly Power Bottom. Pot Belly Power Bottom.
Power bottom.
I picture a logo with a big cock in his mouth with a Rolex on it.
Wait, the dick's
The
gonna
Rolex
have a
has the
Rolex
cock?
on it?
A Rolex on the cock. That is the cock ring.
Oh my gosh.
That we will definitely take that into consideration when designing the logo, Lewis. Thank you.
Oh my God.
All right. Speaking of wrong regions of Asia, we have Thman's Pinoy Pillow Biter.
It's all right.
Oh man.
And this was a special one we got from an anonymous source this weekend, actually. It is, I didn't want to be a groomsman anyway.
Oh, my Lord.
Totally anonymous.
Oh boy.
Wow. What would the logo for that look like? Like just him at an empty altar?
Runaway groomsman.
Runaway groomsman.
So, we got a long time, man. Me and Quan were just talking about how you start off the season with so much fun in San Diego, and we have a blast. We have our frat house. We're having great times, and it actually gets a little sad this time of the year because it's coming to an end. But we have, 7 to 8 months to workshop his name, and we'll make it official at the draft party back in San Diego next August.
God damn, that was funny.
Forward to it.
Hell yeah. That'll be fire, man. And
Gook-eyed Jizz Gobbler it's hard to beat. Jesus Christ, it's so bad.
that's so bad. And like, how are you gonna search that logo? Hey, Chat GPT. Can you
Well,
create an image?
I think Lewis gave us the logo. And he
No, that was me.
so many.
That was me.
The Rolex?
Which one are you talking about? You talking about the face? Or
Which
something
face?
else? The one from that AMC documentary face.
Oh, our space?
Our face.
Oh my
Our
God.
space isn't hard. It doesn't go hard enough, man. You got to go. I mean, the name has to match the logo. You got to go all in. It's got to be memorable.
These guys want to see wieners in other men's mouths. Okay.
Yeah.
with the Rolex cock ring. Yeah.
Big
But it's
veiny
also the goal is also to make it memorable enough that like you never go back to the original name. Right.
Yeah, like
I
who's
think
coming in me?
Queen Swallower was a good one. Who's Coming in Me? Foreskin Flavor. Some of them are very memorable.
I mean, but it's hard to be memorable when you come in last place so much
Yeah.
that you're only as good as your latest loss.
or your best consolation bracket seeding.
my
Consolidation. Sorry about that.
Dude, that was
Keep
good.
fucking it up.
Lewis
I get it.
always gives us one every season. Last year was what was it? Paradise.
Paradise.
Hey, so for Frog, for you and me, like who do you think? Like, what is your you must have favorites, people you would not want to see because you have the 4 chips. So you obviously don't want to see the curse get closer, but like who are you just feeling? Like, what does your gut tell you is gonna happen?
Well, me and the curse years ago, I think we put $500 on who would be the first to 5 chips. So yeah, I can't say that I'm rooting for him because I don't want him to get any closer to my 4. I don't want to root for NJC. Unfortunately, I want to still be the only franchise to go back to back. So, it's tough, man. Sugandis, you have plenty of years to win championships. You're so young, such a full head of hair. I'd like an explanation on why you had to move the camera to the side a little earlier in the show.
Yeah.
I know. What show did we miss?
Yeah, man. Not only a good head of hair, but you got that premarital sex in you. So I had to look over here to make sure my wife wasn't standing behind the board. Oh, sorry, babe. You got that premarital sex, so there's also that.
Yeah. After whatever week that was, after the desecration of India, she wanted nothing to do with this podcast. So she had to
Nobody
desecrated India, by the way.
Yeah.
Nobody desecrated.
Yeah, no, it actually
It was
really
like
happened.
2 jokes, man.
No.
Now this week.
I mean, I'd love to see the Pimps make a run. Quan, he's earned it. But you got to do it in the postseason. And I think there's something we've talked about on the pod about dynasties and, the competitive nature of the league. And, it made me do some research on my own dynasty. And I think the research taught me that you know, the league is cyclical, and when you have a strong squad, you have to take advantage of that and win as many championships as you can before those players get old and retire. And when I had my dynasty team, I was able to win 4 championships, and Quan's team potentially, you know, is either on the same level or deeper than that team, and he's only been able to win 1. So that does speak to how competitive and how difficult it is to win multiple championships now in 2024. I'll let Quan speak on it a little bit, but I did do some research about what we talked about last year. You guys asked, you know, who was a part of those 4 championships, and it kind of ran from 2010 to 2017. There was like a 7-year run there. And there was one player that was actually surprising. I didn't think that there was one player that would have went from 2010 to 2017, but there was one player that was a member of my team on all 4 championship rosters. That was LaShawn McCoy. Shout out NJC. Saquon Barkley just broke LaShawn McCoy's Philadelphia Eagles single season rushing record. So that's a good sign. Le'Veon Bell was a member of the team for 3 championships. Drew Brees was a member for 2. Michael Thomas from the Saints was a member of 2, and Des Bryant was a member of 2. Thank you, Woomy, for that handshake deal in New Orleans for Des Bryant. And then I'll give honorable mention to a few players that won 1 championship on my roster: Frank Gore, Roddy White, Larry Fitzgerald, T.Y. Hilton, and Emmanuel Sanders. So those were the members of my team during that run. And, you know, it was a great run. They got old. They retired. None of those players are currently in the league anymore. I think Michael Thomas was the last to go. And, you know, Le'Veon Bell has got a serious case of CTE. But I made the most out of that team while I had them. And then you see what happens after that, right? Like now it's you got to start over. You got to try to rebuild. And you know, Quan might even have a deeper core, and he's trying to capitalize this postseason.
Yeah, when I talk dynasty, I really was talking about. I think I'm one of the only teams that I have a core of 5 players that's been on my team for, I think over 5 years now, and so looking at that team, we've been together. Even when I've dropped some of them, I've redrafted them right in the first round. So yeah, I think I'm one of the only teams that's had like the same team. I think even Vu said it like one year that, like, man, he's trying to win it again with the same team again. Like, he brought it up. But yeah, we only got 1 championship. It should go to show you how hard it is to win a championship. I mean, the team has put me in the hunt every year, multiple bye weeks, multiple championship appearances. But yeah, you know, if we win it this year, you know, we can talk about their accomplishments. But for now, you know, we'll see. But yeah,
Well, you did.
But
go ahead, Quan.
I was gonna say it's I can't go without mentioning this. It's Joe Mixon, Jonathan Taylor, CeeDee Lamb and Amon-Ra at wide receivers, and then Travis Kelce at tight end. Every year I've only had to just build right around them. You know, and it's hard. It's really hard to keep that big of a core together. But
well, not if you're in the final 3 teams for 4 seasons straight. Then you get the 4th keeper, huge advantage, and then anybody else on the contract. So yeah, good on you for the good drafts and the clever maneuvering. Froggy, hit it, man. Go.
Yeah, sorry. I know we're running long here, but one last piece of data that Quan wanted to talk about is the bye week effectiveness, right? And Quan has earned that, and Quan and Curse earned it this year. And when you get a bye week, the worst you can finish is in 4th place. So we did a deep dive into the past 17 seasons. real quick before I get into the analysis, I'd like to point out that Quan promised to create this report approximately 1 month ago. On Wednesday, I sat in front of my laptop and I knocked it out in about an hour. He'll blame work from home, but it was only 60 minutes that it took to put this together. I think it's safe to say that Quan never attempted to create the report, but he may say otherwise. So bye weeks, you can finish no less than 4th, right? These stats that I'm going to talk about consider 2 bye teams per season. It was like next to impossible for me to figure out which seeds, who had the number 1 seed and the number 2 seed. So I don't have that data. I apologize. But teams with a bye to win a championship has happened 8 times. Oh, I'm sorry. Lou, you said you wanted to poll the audience?
Yeah, I'm curious. Sinkay, what do you think? Do you think it's an advantage having a bye week?
Yeah, I'd say more often than not, if you get a bye week, you probably win, or at least you're in like the finals.
What do you think, BC?
You know where I stand on it.
All right. I think the bye week is an advantage to get to the finals, but I'm not quite sure that the percentages are going to show that the bye week winners.
But is my premise get to the finals or win a chip?
It is to win a chip, but
Okay.
I think I would say that your chances of having an opportunity to win the chip are much higher.
And I agree with that one, but I don't think it has anything to do with winning the chip.
I don't see how it matters, but it probably does in some weird way. Let's find out.
Let's see. All right.
So starting at the top, first place finish championship in AGS. A team with a bye week has won the AGS championship 8 times, 8 out of 17 times. So almost 50% of the championships has been awarded to a team with a bye week. Mind you, that's, you're talking about two teams with byes. So I'm not a math major, man.
It increases the odds.
It increases the odds for sure. And anything could happen, right? You run into a buzzsaw like Curse 215, like it doesn't matter what you did in the regular season if you run into that in the postseason. Second place finish in AGS, a team with a bye week has finished in second place 6 times. So if you take the amount of first and second place finishes, that means a team with a bye week has made the championship game 14 out of 17 times. 80%. It's either been the number 1 or number 2 seed has participated in the championship. One thing I found interesting is that a team with a bye week has finished in third place 12 times. Again, you're talking about 34, right? Because we're talking about first seed and second seed, 17 years. So the number of finishes in third place is the highest, 12 times.
Yeah.
A team with a bye week has finished in fourth place 8 times. So same amount of times the team has won a championship, they've also come in fourth place 8 times.
I have had 2 bye weeks in my life, and I finished in 3rd and 4th.
We'll get to that. I have a breakdown of every team in AGS who's had a bye week and what the results were. I'm sure you're excited to hear that.
Nope.
2 teams, this was another interesting stat. The 2 teams that received bye weeks have faced each other in AGS championship only 2 times in 17 seasons. So the odds of Quan playing the Curse in the championship, it's not high. Apparently, according to our history, it's only happened twice in 17 years. Franchise performance with bye weeks. Here we go. We just talked about that dynasty. There were a lot of bye weeks in my life back in the a decade ago. The Frogs lead AGS with 7 byes, which have resulted in 4 championships. Coming up next, we had the Curse. Prior to locking in this week, this season, he had 4. It's now 5. 2 championships. Quan's next. He's had 3 byes. This will be his 4th bye. He has 1 championship. Idaho Spuds, 3 byes, 0 championships. New Jack City, 2 byes, 2 championships. Now
Wow.
these don't mean you won a championship in the year you had a bye. Because I
It just
think
means
you won a
it just means
championship.
you had a buy and won a chip.
Exactly.
Just by curious.
Voodoo's had 2 buys and 1 accidental championship.
And a little bit of shrimp.
The Pimps have had 2 buys and 1 championship. Victoria's Secret had 2 buys and 1 championship. Rudy and Rebel Scum have both had 2 buys and a combined total of 0 championships.
It's hard out there for a pimp, man. It's hard.
This is the one that I think stands out in this data is Jamon T. Ruth has only had 1 buy, but he's got 2 championships.
So maybe 3 this year.
Sugandiz has had one buy and 1 championship.
Oh.
James Bryant, F You Pay Me, had 1 buy and 1 championship. And Greedy Face, Rocky Mason, he had 1 buy and 0 championships.
When
So
you
the
pray
data,
to Shiva,
the data doesn't
blessings of
support what
Shiva
you
are on
think
you.
it supported. Lulu.
What was that? What was that again?
The data
What was the
doesn't
hypothesis? What was the
My
thesis
hypothesis is that a bye week does not secure a championship.
No.
That a lot of the time, the champion doesn't necessarily come from the bye week. That's my
but not
premise.
even that much a lot. It's barely more than half the time.
More than half.
Only 50% of the time, pretty much. A little over 50%. That's it.
So it's a coin toss.
47%. 47% of the time.
But 80% of the time you make it.
80% of the time you make the championship.
You make it.
100% of the time when you make the playoffs, you have a chance to make the finals.
60% of the time, it works every time.
80%, you make it.
It always
I will take those odds to get to the championship because when you get to the championship, you only got 1 game to win.
I mean, it puts you right into the Final Four. Even if you lose, you play a second game, right? You play in the 3rd place game. It gives you great odds of bringing back 4 keepers because the top 3 bring back 4 keepers. So there's a lot of benefits to it.
And prize money.
Prize money.
Prize money.
And prize money.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it shakes out.
We'll see how it shakes out, man. You guys got anything else to drop or
In the wise words of Queef Swallower, sometimes you just gotta let your nuts drop and just hang and drag them, man. You gotta let them drag and hang, man.
I've got one thing, and Sakay, you could probably give me some insight into this, but I've been outside of and shout out Jamon. I encourage everyone here, if you haven't been, he throws a great Christmas party. It's Thursday night. I know for a fact that NJC and Quan and myself will be in attendance. Sinkay, I know you don't like to get out the house much, man, but dress up, come out. It's an open bar, man. It's a good night. It's a good networking opportunity. It's a lot of fun. The music's good, man. Thank you, Jamon, for hosting that. I want to say this is, year 7 maybe? Of Jamon's Christmas party, man. So we appreciate you for doing that for us and for the community and for the city, man. We always have a great time. But outside of Jamon, none of my other Black friends invite me to Christmas parties. I get mostly invites from my Black friends who are in interracial relationships. So I'm wondering, is it something are Black folks against the white elephant parties? I've got a ton of invites from my friends that are enjoying the season with a flocked Christmas tree.
I'm not really big on the white elephant, but I mean, there's another holiday.
I think because it costs money to throw a Christmas party. That might be something that
wait a minute.
That might be the magical determining factor.
I thought white elephant was like some euphemism for something else. Do you mean to tell me it literally means just that's a game white people play?
Dude, I mean, no, but it's
I don't think a Black person created it.
Yeah. I definitely played. I don't think some dude was like, everybody in the party spend $25 to $30, right? And then, actually though, hold on, it does sound like a black game. So everybody put your toy at the table, and
then you get to steal the best gift.
If yours looks better than mine, I'm stealing it. That's mine.
I think the worst part about White Elephant is that everybody plays by a different set of rules.
That sounds like jail.
You come in
this is a black
expecting
game. The more we talk about it,
you come in expecting one set of rules, and they play by a different set of rules. It makes you a little upset.
You can steal this thing 5 times. 5 times.
And that's when I walk in. I ask that question off top because he tells you how long you're gonna be there. How many steals?
When does it
you
lock?
say more than 2? I'm
lock?
not playing the game.
Right? It can't be more than 2.
No, if it's more than 2, give me my toy. I'm going home.
Damn, I laughed way too hard at NJC's. If your shit looks better than mine, I'm gonna steal yours.
I mean, that's pretty much the impetus and the strategy of the game.
You said, wait, maybe it is a black thing.
I mean, you get to steal. If somebody's is better, you get to go gangster them on the dead homies, and then it's taken. Like, nah, pimp. Nah, yeah, that sounds.
Oh shit, that was great, man. That was fucking awesome, man.
Definitely one of my best work experiences was a White Elephant party at the office, and just like people get really into it, man. And when you steal their gift, they get. I mean, I think I had a coworker that like never spoke to me again.
Yeah, I don't even care if I never use the gift. If I know you're gonna get pissed, I'm still stealing it and leaving it on my desk unwrapped the whole year.
People do get really serious about that, but it is a crapshoot. You either get really good stuff or you get like leftover hand-me-down kind of shit, like a pack.
Well, you gotta. I mean, I think you need to have like a medium number. Like you don't want to go first, you don't want to go last. Like something in the middle is good because you can still play.
No, last is good. No, what do you mean? Last is definitely good.
Last is the best one.
Is it though? But if it depends on how many things are already been stolen twice.
Yeah, but at least you get the last pick. At least you get the last choice if something has
definitely don't want first.
Yeah.
Definitely,
no, you don't want first because you come up with the neck roll.
Neck roll. Oh shit! You know what, Froggy? Sorry about that. We'll try to get you invited to more Christmas parties, man. I'm sorry, man.
Hey, somebody can.
I've been invited to a ton, man. I'm just wondering.
Hey, Edo's having a holiday party. If you want to roll with that,
Edo's having a holiday party. It's always a good one.
May not be the place to be this year.
Hey, Jasmine's sister is going to make an appearance to all the single.
Oh, because of she had fun on the podcast the other night. Huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's coming through.
I think she had a favorite host.
Huh?
Oh yeah. Lou, why did you throw that one out there? Why did you say it like that?
For all the single fellas out there.
Hey, this podcast is about to be listened to. Let's keep it PG, boy.
Single
for all the single fellas out there, or
single and ready to mingle.
Okay. Hey, we're throwing one Lennon on the 21st. If you want to hang out with a bunch of 28-year-olds.
How many straight people are going to be? How many straight people are going to be there, Sinke? You might want to throw that out as a disclaimer first.
Would there be samosas? How about some samosas? Maybe iced tea.
India's finest.
I'm getting you in so much trouble.
Why did it wait for the podcast to discuss these parties to get the invites?
Hey, can you do
like if we were on the pod, the party?
Hey, Nick, don't drop this podcast until Friday, so people don't come to the party we don't want to see.
We have not given any details of the whereabouts.
Oh, I got an invite from YouTube.
Well, you also there's a secret. Like half of those YouTube a third of those YouTube subscribers are just like 5 different email addresses I have. So I don't think you have to worry about uninvited guests watching this. Just trying to search us out. Man.
Where are you?
Anyways, guys, I think that does it for the Week 14 recap. The Any Given Sunday podcast.
Don't come with an appetite. Warning to the wise.
Wait, what?
Don't come to the party with an appetite.
Okay, we'll talk about this after the recording button stops.
Yeah, that's a hell of a thing to say at the end of the podcast.
What the fuck? Don't come with an appetite. Make sure your stomach is full before you come to the
always defending his papa.
There you have it, man. At the end of the pod, we got the Sugandis, New Jack City, Quan, and the Commish, Rebel Scum, signing you out. We'll catch you.
Peace.
DC will be checking IDs at the door.
Please like and subscribe.